Hi everybody, welcome to your yoga session, Restorative Yoga. Today we're going to use 3 blankets and we're going to use a bolster. If you don't have 3 blankets, you can use towels. You can use 2 towels and a pillow, but we are going to use the bolster. But before we do that, we're going to start holding the front of the knees, sitting cross-legged on the floor. If you're uncomfortable sitting cross-legged on the floor, please do this in a chair or some support underneath you. Ideally, the chair would be better than sitting on the bolster right now for the movement that we're going to do. So be comfortable as you take your seat, and then hold the front of the knees, roll the shoulders back, and lift your chest skyward. So as you lift your chest, your head will gently go back, but notice from the side view, I'm not throwing my head back. I'm just going to pull the chest up, roll the shoulders back, and let the head follow the upper back. So as the upper back moves in, the neck stays long. And then as I exhale, I'm going to hold the knees and around my upper back and then lean back and let my head and neck release forward. Inhaling, hands pull back, shoulders pull back, chest lifts up. And then exhale, holding the knees. Draw the navel in slightly as you round back, let your head and neck release. And then repeating with the inhale. Let the inhale guide you. And then let the exhale begin as you start to make the movement back. Completing the exhalation and continuing to let the breath lead the movement. Inhale lifts the sternum, broadens the chest. Exhale rounds the upper back. Chest pulls back, head and neck release. Now you're going to start to lengthen the inhale, lengthen the exhalation. So we're just starting to move some energy through the body. Now you're going to start to quicken the breath a little as you inhale and lift the chest. Exhale, pull the chest back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Do about 4 more rounds at your own pace, but you're looking to go a little bit faster. Then we're going to come to a neutral spine, sitting nice and tall. You're going to hold onto the front of your shins now. And so your hands are about shoulder distance apart. And as you pull against your shins, pull your chest up between the window of your arms. Your upper back moves in. And then as you exhale, pull the upper back back. So you're going to start to pump the chest up and down. So inhaling up, exhale round. Inhale, exhale. Now you're going to bring a little bit of vigor. You're going to do it a little bit quickly with the breath. Getting a complete inhale, complete exhale. Inhale, exhale. And you'll start to feel the muscles of your upper back between your shoulder blades starting to warm. Breathing in and out of your nose. We're doing 30 more seconds. Use the muscles of the upper back rather than the muscles of your neck. One more. So tall, hold your breath. And exhale. Good job. So you should feel the warmth in the back body. Now we're going to take our bolster and you're going to bring the bolster lengthwise on your mat. You're going to take a pillow or a blanket for the top end of the bolster so that that pillow should lift your forehead just slightly higher than your chin when you lie back. And you're going to take your two blankets, and when they're stacked on top of each other, kind of like a square, you stack them together and then roll them up. You're going to roll up your blankets so you have a nice thick roll. You can do it at the bottom of the edge of your mat, so in front of the bolster, so you turn to face the blanket roll. You have a nice big roll for your legs, and then you're going to take your feet over that roll. Now, as you're sitting upright, just feel your back ribs. And if you hold your rib cage actually with your four fingers in front, thumb in the back, I want you to feel how your front ribs, they end, but your back ribs continue down. So look for your lower back ribs. It's quite further down there than you think. And that's the area that's going to rest on the bolster. So I'm going to bring the bolster in a little bit, but there's about 4 inches or so of space between my back and the bolster. Then you place your hands beside you, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, arching the upper back as you begin to lie back, and then rest your trunk over the bolster and bring your pillow under your neck all the way up to your shoulders. Then push through your heels, lift your buttocks, and lengthen the buttocks towards your feet, away from the bolster. So that now when you elongate the low back, you should feel like the back of those lower ribs are on top of the bolster. But you're not completely at a sharp angle in your lower back. And from this position, just stretch out one leg, lengthen the leg, lift it a little higher than the roll, and then extend it forward. Stretch the other leg out, lengthen it, lift it over the roll, and stretch it forward. And then take your arms and reach the arms to the ceiling. As you reach your arms up to the sky, palms face each other, and then reach the arms overhead and stretch back. Push down through your heels, lift your buttocks, and stretch out through your legs. Lift your heels if the blanket roll is supporting you well. And then as you exhale, lower your buttocks, your heels, and your arms down. And once again, inhale, lift the arms up. Lift the hips up as you straighten your legs. Stretch back through the arms and forward through your toes. And then exhale, lengthen your tailbone forward as you lower down. Inhale, lifting up, lengthen the legs, move the tailbone forward in your body, and then exhale, lengthen the lower back as you come down. Then, once again, put your heels on the ground, lift your buttocks, and move the flesh of the buttocks toward your feet. And then you may have to adjust your pillow again. Reach your arms towards the ceiling on your inhalation. Exhale, open the arms out to the sides and stretching the arms out and down by your hips now. Making a big circle, inhaling the arms up toward the ceiling, out towards your sides, and down by the hips. And continue this big circle. Feel the sensation of the arm bones rotating within the shoulder sockets. And tune into the sensation of your shoulder blades. Feel the movement of the whole of the shoulder blades, the scapula behind your back, moving as your arms move. The shoulder blades move into upward rotation. They spread and they come down, continuing to move in this big circle, floating the arms wide and out to your sides. Use your inhale as you lift the arms overhead. Follow the exhale as your arms come down. Just do about 3 more rounds with your own cycle of breath. And then at the end of this next round, you'll let your arms come down at a small angle, about 45 degrees or so, and then let your arms relax. Let your shoulders and neck relax. And take a moment now to extend the arms out in line with the height of your shoulders. And as you extend the arms, tuck your shoulder blades down your back away from your ears and lengthen through the arms. Then relax the elbows down, letting the arms soften. Then you can close your eyes from the top to the bottom. And then open the eyes, open your mouth, stick out your tongue, stretch your jaw, open your eyes wide. Look up towards your eyebrows as you stretch your jaw open and stick your tongue out. And then as you close your mouth, swallow, relax your eyes. Repeating that again, inhale, open the eyes, stick out the tongue, stretch the jaw wide open. And then exhale, relax and close the eyes down towards the chest. So from the upper eyelids draping down, let the eyes soften. Take a moment to take a long, slow breath in through your nose and pause gently at the top. And exhale through an open mouth, sighing it out. And then just pause and notice how you feel on the support under you. Did you slide down the bolster? Are your lower back ribs supported? Feel free to make any adjustment now so that you feel more supported by the bolster and the blanket under your head. And then we're going to allow your tongue, your jaw, and your throat to begin to soften. So as you swallow once again, feel the tip of the tongue soften and widen away from the roof of your mouth. Begin to feel and sense the bottom teeth gently separate from the top teeth, even though the mouth remains closed. As you draw the breath in through your nasal passage, just notice how the breath rises up the roof of the nasal passage. Notice how the breath falls out through the floor of the nasal passage. Noticing where the air first touches the tip of your nostrils, rises up the roof of the nostrils. Notice the breath flow out through the floor of the nostrils. Drawing the air in, up through the nasal passage to the apex of the nasal passage, slightly above the eyebrows at the center of the forehead. And exhale, letting it fall out through the floor of the nasal passage. And feeling the sense of the breath, notice as you breathe in, there's a cooling around the nostrils. As you breathe out, there may be a warmth to the upper lip. Notice how the inhalation allows the lungs and the chest to fill. Allow the exhalation to be long and slow and complete. As you inhale, feel how the lungs and the chest expand the ribs and the muscles between the ribs. And as you exhale, feel how the muscles between your ribs soften, even though the rib cage remains open and uplifted. Notice how the breath not only moves through the sides of the chest and armpits, but also into the front and back of the body. Just allow yourself to sense the cylinder of your upper trunk, the rib cage. Feeling the airways open and uplifted. And as you continue to follow your breath, notice that when you breathe in, you're only breathing in up to the collarbones, not into the neck or the throat. There's no tension in the neck or the throat. But the breath remains in the cylinder of your rib cage. And then see if you can invite an even rhythm to the inhalation as well as the exhalation. And if it's helpful, you can count the breath in for a count of 4, out for a count of 4. Or you just sense and feel the even rhythm of the breath drawn in and out. Then let go of the counting of the breath. Feel the surrender of your back body to the support beneath you. And feel the lower abdomen soften and release any gripping or tension in the abdomen. And taking one more long cycle of breath as we prepare to transition from this posture. Begin by bending one knee, setting the foot on the ground, and then bending the other knee, setting the foot on the ground. You're going to place your hands beside you on the ground and gently push the ground away as you come all the way up to seated. Just sit upright for a moment, pull your hips back slightly. Knees will fall open to the roll, and then just sitting tall. Notice how you feel, notice how the breath flows. And if you still have your eyes closed, now you can softly blink your eyes open. And we're going to begin to turn away from the blanket roll. You're going to set that blanket roll aside. And you're going to unroll it and take one of the blankets out. So you're going to come to your knees now facing your bolster. You can leave the bolster and blanket at the top like that. And then you're going to sit back on your heels if it's comfortable. Separate your knees a little bit wider than the bolster. Take your blanket and put it underneath your 2 buttock bones on top of your heels. Your big toes touch, but the heels are slightly apart. Your knees just slightly wider than your hips. And then just bringing that bolster right between your inner knees, not very far. And then just start to walk your hands forward. Slide the arms forward. So your buttock stays down, but the spine lengthens, the sides of your trunk lengthen. And then let your elbows soften. Then stack your forearms one on top of the other and rest your forehead on top of your forearms, which are on top of the blanket or pillow. So this will allow you to elongate the sides of your trunk and open the armpits. And then observe how the breath can move into the back of your body. Breathe into the back of your body. As you breathe in, feel how the back of your rib cage expands. And as you breathe out, feel how the muscles between each rib soften down towards the support underneath your chest. So there's a feeling of the upper back flowing inward with each exhalation. Notice if there's any tension in the neck or the shoulders, and relax the base of your neck away from the back of your ears. If this is bothering the shoulders at all, then you can always bring your hands down to the floor and extend the arms. Otherwise, see if you can keep your forehead resting on your forearms. And it helps to walk your hands all the way over your elbow and under your other elbow so that your arms are really stacked evenly. And feel and observe how that opens the sides of your latissimus muscles all the way through the armpit. Take a few more long cycles of breath like that, breathing into the upper back, and letting the upper back soften towards the front of the body. Taking one more long cycle of breath here, preparing to transition from this pose. You're just going to push down through your forearms or your hands and start to slide yourself back up, rolling up. Your head can come up last. And you'll just sit upright for a moment and notice the effects of the posture you were just in. And now we're going to shift forward to hands and knees, and you can remove the blanket that was behind your buttock bones. Walk your knees back. And stretch out through each leg, opening the back of the knee joint. Keeping your head in line with the rest of your spine so it doesn't fall forward. The neck is nice and long. Change the leg that you're stretching, toes on the floor, and reach back through the heel. Take a few moments just to stretch open the back of the knee from the previous position. And then as you bring your knees down, take your feet off to one side, hips to the ground. Now we're going to take the bolster and turn it sideways on the mat so you can bring your blanket with you. Turn your bolster widthwise on your mat. Take your blanket, open it, and then roll it up on top of the bolster. So you're going to make a nice round roll on top of the length of the bolster. And you're going to take your other blanket or pillow and you're going to fold it in half so it makes a little pillow for your head if you don't actually have a pillow. And then you're going to recline back. So you're going to take your legs over the roll, pull yourself in and extend the legs so the back of the knee is on the roll and the feet are on the floor. Then tuck your tail forward as you roll yourself down. Bring your blanket all the way underneath your head, under your neck, up to your shoulders, but not under the shoulders. And then take a moment to put your heels on the ground, lift your buttocks and lengthen the buttocks towards the bolster. Then turning your arms open, you're going to tuck one shoulder blade in and down away from your ears, so down and in from the sides of your trunk. And feel how the shoulder blades come under you to support the upliftment of your chest. And then relax into the support of the ground beneath you. Let your eyes soften closed from the top eyelid down to the bottom eyelid. Take a long, slow breath in through your nose and pause gently at the top of the inhalation. And gently exhale through your mouth, sighing it out. Take another long, slow breath in through your nose. Pause gently at the top. And this time through your nostrils, you'll empty of air. And feel the lower abdomen soften and relax back into the spine. And the whole back of your body now in a neutral position on the ground. And become aware of the contact points between your body and the ground. Being aware of the back of your head, and the floor, the back of the neck supported. Sense the back of your shoulders and the floor, the back of your ribs where they meet the floor. Sense the back of your pelvis on the floor, the back of your knees. Sense the heels, the back of your heels. Take a long breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, exhale down from the top of your head to your feet. Let the breath gently move in and out through the nasal passage naturally. Breathing in and out through the nose. Begin to soften through the muscles of your face. Soften through the inner and the outer corners of your eyes. Soften the tissue that holds the orbs of your eyes, relaxing the muscles of the eyes. Feel the eyes themselves draw back away from your eyelids to rest deep to the sockets of your skull. Sense that even the skin of your forehead and scalp can soften. The bridge of the nose can recede back into the skull. And sense the skin of the whole face recedes back towards the earth. Taking your conscious awareness deeper within to this present moment. And dissolve into being just as you are now in this present moment of awareness. And I invite you to remain in this posture for the next 5 to 10 to 20 minutes. Awake and aware of this present space, a moment in time with yourself, just as you are, without any judgment, everything just as it is. When you think you've surrendered, surrender once more to this present moment. And I will leave you here, continuing in your posture. Namaste.